Hare Krishna. Back in 1995, Iskcon published a series of articles in their Back to Godhead magazine entitled The Glories of the Demigods, in which we described the positions and understandings of the demigods in comparison to that of Lord Krsna. Objections were raised and several letters were presented to Back to Godhead magazine. And today, one such letter from the Federation of Hindu Association will be presented along with the reply by Jayadvaita Swami. Please comment, rate, and share. Thank you very much. The Federation of Hindu Association takes strong exception to the article and subsequent rejoinders in the Back to Godhead magazine, May-June 1995, which in effect state that Shiva, Ganesh, Brahma, Rama, and other deities can at best be considered as demigods and a little higher than human beings. Statements of this type are extremely offensive and confusing to the devout Hindus and are destructive to the Hindu interests. Branding the worshippers of such deities as offenders is not fair to the compassionate and diversified philosophy of Hinduism. With their interpretation suiting to themselves from obscure Puranas since thousands of years, schools of Vaishnavism, Shaivism, and Shaktivism are unfortunately conflicting on this question. The attitudes reek of fundamentalism, violate the very spirit of Hinduism, and create the possibility of another offshoot from the mother religion. By following such interpretations, they are creating exclusive territories of influence and business around one deity by eliminating or reducing the significance of others. The FHA considers that in Hinduism, all deities represent the different forms, attributes, qualities, powers, or shaktis of the same Almighty. Our partial attachment to any of them and not surrender to all the other remaining does not complete surrender to all the qualities and components of the definition of God. Surrender to any deity is surrender to one of his attributes. Hence, all of them are worshipped at one time or another to complete the puja of the Supreme. So nobody should knock down, degrade, or insult any of the gods or goddesses by creating a class or grades around the multi-faces of the same God. The FHA proposes that for the benefit of Hinduism, we should stop this discussion and treatment of superiority and inferiority. The FHA appeals to Iskcon to continue the good work initiated by Swami Prabhupada. FHA notes that even after identification of this controversy by Radharaman Temple, the statements of Iskcon are still confusing and hurting to the cause of Hinduism. The FHA appeals to Iskcon to make a clear statement that there is no superior or inferior among Krishna, Shiva, or Durga, and reflect the objectionable statements and declare themselves belonging to the Hindu family and way of life, respecting everyone. The FHA appeals to all temples, associations, and activities to join and work together to the best interest of Hinduism to benefit this commonwealth of beliefs and protect it from any damage. Please remember, confinement is not Hinduism. Hindus, please save Hinduism. Sincerely, Prithvi Raj Singh, President of the Federation of Hindu Association. Dear Mr. Singh, thank you for sending us a copy of your resolution. I am grateful to you for expressing to us your concern. You have appealed to us to continue the good work initiated by Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for that request, and we will consider that your blessing. You have also appealed to us to make a clear statement, and so we shall. Here it is. We reaffirm that Krishna alone is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appears in unlimited Vishnu forms such as Narayan and Ram. Yes, we refer to Lord Shiva, Sri Ganesh, and Lord Brahma as demigods, but not Lord Ram. We consistently distinguish between the forms of Vishnu and the Devas. According to the authoritative scriptures, Lord Ram is another form of Vishnu. He is identical with Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself. And deities such as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Sri Ganesh are his servants. Yes, we refer to these exalted servants as demigods. This is an English rendering of the Sanskrit word deva, and it means they are partial manifestations of God. Yes, we say they are subordinate to God and are his servants. Far from being insults, these are terms of high praise. According to Rig Veda 1:22-20, to be subordinate to the Supreme Lord is the glorious qualification of the gods. As conditioned souls, we are insubordinate, rebellious against the Lord, whereas the Devas always humbly consider themselves subordinate and always look forward to his lotus feet. We therefore honor the Devas for being exalted devotees. We do not call them ugly, bogus, dismiss them as seducers, or consider them merely a little higher than human beings. In the sheet attached to your resolution, you have enclosed a page from Back to Godhead in which you circle some passages to which you object. There we find in context in which you have used the word, we use the word bogus. We said that anyone who claims to be God but whose claim has no basis in Scripture is simply bogus. Do we still stand by that? Absolutely. An impostor who claims to be God is not God but a dog. Such an impostor is just the opposite of the Deva and is an Asura. Are the Devas a little higher than human beings? No, we never said that. They are vastly higher, but they are still subordinate to Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. You are unhappy that we published a statement describing the worship of the Devas as offenders, but that word wasn't ours. It appeared in the direct quotation from the Padma Purana, one of the 18 principal Puranas and hardly obscure. The specific Sanskrit word used is pashandi. We have given the translation offender. According to the Manuel-Williams Sanskrit English Dictionary, alternatives are heretic, hypocrite, impostor, or anyone who falsely assumes the characteristics of an orthodox Hindu. That's not our fault. That's what the scriptural quotations say. Anyway, for the moment, let us leave aside the Puranas. In the Hare Krishna movement, our main source of teaching is the Bhagavad Gita. That is our primary source of authority, the main scripture we follow. How about you? Do the members of your association accept the words of the Bhagavad Gita? I assume they must. Then what do you make of this statement? Here, Lord Krishna clearly says that those who are the devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith are only worshipping him, but in the wrong way. If the Bhagavad Gita says it's wrong, why should we say it's right? Elsewhere in the Gita 7.20, Lord Krishna says that because of the materialistic desires, those who surrender to the other gods are bereft of intelligence. The intelligent, Lord Krishna says, surrender to him, knowing that he, Lord Krishna, who appeared as the son of Vasudeva, is everything. He is the complete whole, the absolute truth of whom all the other living beings are a part. Therefore, by worshipping Krishna, one automatically worships all other deities. Just as by watering the root of a tree, one waters all the leaves and branches, or by putting food in the stomach, one feeds the entire body. We can't water every leaf of a tree or offer food to every cell of the body. But when we pour water on the root or put food in the stomach, the entire tree or the entire body is satisfied. As you say in your resolution, surrender to any deity is surrender to one of his attributes. True, but surrender to the Supreme Lord himself is surrender to the source of all deities and attributes. You speak of the need to surrender to all the gods, but the Vedic scriptures tell us there are 330 million gods. So how will it be possible? We can't even think of those gods. What to speak of surrender to them? Therefore, we have to follow the method given in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krsna, the God himself. Surrender to Krishna. In that way, our surrender will be complete. God is the complete reservoir of all qualities, powers, and attributes, and yes, they are represented by various gods. Therefore, some people are attracted to one god, some to another. But as you say, a partial attachment to any of them and not surrendering to all the others remaining does not completely surrender to all other qualities and components. But Krishna is the original and refuge of all these gods. So when we worship Krishna, one attains the perfection of the surrender to all in one stroke. Whatever one might get by worshipping any other god is in fact bestowed by Krishna himself, Bhagavad Gita 7.22. Why then one should refuse to surrender exclusively to Lord Krishna? The benefit one gets from other gods are temporary, and therefore Lord Krishna says in the Gita that those who worship such gods are meager in intelligence. The devotees of such gods attain the abodes of those gods, which are all temporary and subject to distress. The devotees of Krishna, on the other hand, attain the abode of Krishna himself, where they enjoy immortal bliss and knowledge. Again, these are not our statements, these are statements of the Bhagavad Gita. We simply accept them. You castigate us for violating the spirit of Hinduism, but without the Bhagavad Gita, what is the meaning of Hinduism? The ideas to which you are objecting come directly from the Gita, so why are you objecting? You accuse us from deviating from the mother religion, but the mother religion is not Hinduism. The mother religion for all living beings is Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavad Dharma, devotion to Bhagwan, the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that he is the father of all living beings. He is even the father of the Devas. The mother religion, therefore, is the worship of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. The Vedic scriptures, in fact, may be compared to our mother, and he, the Supreme Lord, is our father. If we are in doubt about who our father is, we should best consult our mother. And according to the conclusion of all Vedic literature, the father of all living beings is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, therefore, in his books such as the Bhagavad Gita as it is and Srimad Bhagavatam, has presented the Vedic literatures with scrupulous integrity, and he has distributed his message intact through the Krishna consciousness movement. Anyone born in India, the land of Vedic knowledge, is extremely fortunate, and we appeal to all such fortunate people to make their lives perfect by joining the Krishna consciousness movement and spreading it everywhere for the eternal benefit for all living beings. On your letterhead, I see the slogan, Garv se kaho, hum Hindu hai, proudly declare that I am Hindu. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna never tells Arjuna to declare himself Hindu. Rather, he directs Arjuna to give up all forms of religion and simply surrender exclusively unto him. The Lord then says, "O Arjuna, declare to the world that my devotee will never be vanquished." Therefore, if we're going to follow the Bhagavad Gita, a better slogan would be, "Garv se kaho hum Bhagwan Shri Krishna ke das hai." Proudly declare to everyone, "I am a servant of Lord Shri Krishna." If Hinduism is to be saved, the way to save it is to accept the Bhagavad Gita as it is. We may have been taught that all gods are equal and we should therefore surrender to them all, but Lord Krishna says to give up all such notions, accept Him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and surrender unto Him alone. As long as we refuse to surrender to Krishna, we shall be confined to this material world. So if confinement is not Hinduism, we should at once surrender to Krishna. Lord Shri Krishna will then at once grant us liberation from the material confinement and take us back home, back to Godhead. In this way, by following the divine instruction given in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna himself, one attains the perfection of Hinduism and the perfection of human life. Hare Krishna.